All right, I'm going to show you how to use and set up Flipgrid. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to flipgrid.com, and you can do educator sign up or educator login to sign up. And what you want to do is do sign up with Google, and then hopefully you're logged in with your school, your St. Paul.K12 Google account. So go ahead and click that. You might be routed to sign in here. All right, so now setting your profile up, you'll have to go through and do your standard setup. For most of us, that's going to be middle school. You can put in your birth date if you want to. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways to organize this, and it's going to be important for you to get an idea of how you want to organize your Flipgrid account so that it works really well for you. So what you've got is grids, and what I would suggest that you do is you make a grid for each class that you teach. Now, you could create a grid for each section of students you have, but I found that in terms of checking whether students have completed a grid or completed a task, it's almost easier to make a grid for an entire class. For example, if you have 6 different sections of an English class, you might want to all put them in the same grid. That way you can check all of your students at the same time without having to go back and open different grids, but that's up to you. Once you have a grid, you have discussion topics, and so these are the questions or the little videos that you put out. All right, so it's kind of a hierarchy of organization. The grid you can think of as your class. The discussion topic is obviously a discussion topic. So I'm going to make one now, and you can call it whatever you like. And there are a couple of different ways you can have students get in or log into your grid. I would suggest a school email, because they can use their Microsoft or their Google School email, which is what our students have. All right, and then you can create a flip code at the bottom. This is one of the ways that students join your class, so you might want to make it something that's easy to remember. I'm going to leave it as blank. Of course, this is available. As we've added your school email already, add your student's school email if it's different from yours. Obviously, our students have the same suffix on our email, so you can just leave this. All right, so now what's going to happen is for students to be able to log in and access the topics on this grid, they are going to have to use their school email, their school Google account. That's the St. Paul K12mn.us account. Some students have a hard time with that because they have a personal Google account and they don't really know how to switch between accounts very well. So that's definitely a communication that you might want to have with your students. You can also open the grids up to be accessible by anybody at any time, but I would suggest not doing that just for privacy reasons. Anyway, so here's my grid, which is Robotics 8, and here is a topic. So I've got this topic that's automatically made, all right, and you can record a lot of different things. You click on this. You can record yourself. You can leave it as a text prompt. You can have your voice only. It kind of depends on what you are comfortable with. Anyway, so that's kind of setting up Flipgrid. So you should not have to import all of your student email addresses in order to set this up.